Hello, thanks for joining us for the midday news. The government yesterday confirmed the release of 10 million kina to the Manam Resettlement Authority last month. Minister Yeo said a 10 million kina commitment made by the Prime Minister James Marape in May 2024 has been released with stringent financial guidelines to ensure transparent and accountable use on priority areas in the resettlement project. Yeo also clarified that the 10 million kina is separate from the National Court-ordered 6 million kina specific court liabilities. He added that while the national government leads funding efforts, Manam project requires collaboration from the Medang provincial government, Bogia DDA, and other stakeholders to fast-track the resettlement of the displaced population now living in care centers. Annie Yayus is one of the PNG's many rural teachers who selflessly spend decades cultivating young minds, while their own welfare is pushed to the bottom of the list. Armed with just a grade 10 certificate, Yayus was handpicked by members of her community in Manyamya district, Morobe province, to teach their children. 20 years later, she is looking forward to upgrading her certificate to a diploma at the Morobe Early Childhood Teachers College.
Elementary teachers in Papua New Guinea became concerned when the government's reform in the education system, especially the standard-based curriculum with the 166 structure, was announced. This meant that elementary teaching will be phased out and replaced with 1 year of early childhood education. Annie Yayos, who has been teaching at Manyama district for 20 years, expressed her anxiety and alarm when she first heard of the reform, wondering what the future would look like for not just her, but her children as well. She shared that she started teaching in 2005 after undergoing a training at the Morobe Special Resource Education Center at Eriku. There, she achieved an elementary teaching certificate and a provisional registration certificate. She eventually received a full registration certificate after undergoing an inspection by the district school inspector, making her eligible for the Morobe Early Childhood Teachers College. The Wome Elementary School teacher is part of the second intake of 100 students who will be undergoing elementary teacher qualification upgrades under the PNG Education Institute. Yayus is excited at the prospect of attaining a diploma in early childhood and junior primary teaching from the 1-year training, as continual professional growth means better opportunities. After this, she plans to continue with the attainment of a grade 12 certificate and perhaps a degree in education, saying the opportunity has encouraged her to advance herself. Kamala Guare, TVWAN News, Ley.
The upgraded access road to the PNGDF Air Transport Wing was officially opened yesterday in Port Moresby by the Deputy Chief of the Australian Air Force, Air Vice Marshal Harvey Reynolds, and PNGDF Chief of Force Preparation, Colonel Craig Solomon. The upgrade of the Jackson Access Road was delivered through the Defence Cooperation Programme. The project was delivered with a local Papua New Guinean construction contractor. The original unsealed road severely restricted vehicle movement, making access to the ATW difficult and dangerous. The upgrade included the replacement of the unsealed road with a more resilient sealed asphalt road. Australia and PNG share a long-standing defence partnership built on cooperation and trust. The upgrade to the access road will support PNGDF to deliver on PNG government priorities. Hataville Coffee Limited in Wantrifu village of Daula District, Eastern Highlands Province, reached a milestone achievement when it was presented its coffee export license by the Coffee Industry Corporation Limited recently. The event highlighted that 90% of coffee exporters are Papua New Guineans and 10% of them are multinational companies. However, 10% of multinational companies export 80% of coffee, while 90% of Papua New Guineans export only 20%.
Today, I'm certificate. I'm the inspector, I'm giving.
We must change the landscape and change must start now. And it's already started. 50 years, September by we celebrating independence. We cannot continue on like that. Change has started, fire has started finish. Within the next 5 to 10 years, there will be more Papua New Guinea exporters exporting. The right support, the right infrastructure, and the right people to industry to actually support you. And if it is the industry's vision to grow the coffee industry, then it is possible.
Turning abroad, a flood emergency is unfolding in the New South Wales Hunter Valley and mid-north coast regions. Some areas have received more than 250 millimeters of rain, with dozens of rescues and several evacuation orders in place. Thousands of homes are without power, and there is more wild weather on the way.
They were expecting rain in Taree, just not this much.
One of the crewmen rolled over to see what the problem was, stepped out of bed and he was almost knee-deep in water.
The water was even higher in parts of the Hunters Dungog Shire, where an already soaked landscape copped a drenching beyond its capacity.
It's probably been raining here for 4 or 6 weeks. And the ground is absolutely waterlogged. And this rain event over the last few days, the water hasn't had anywhere to go.
That's resulted in a major flood warning for the Williams River.
I think there was a lot of apprehension in Dungog with obviously the rain falling. When the river started rising, people started to use the term freak a little bit more.
Some in Dungog have already evacuated, while residents further north are getting ready to go.
A little bit nervous, like being a dad and all, I do want to protect my family and make sure I'm making the right decisions.
Declan Batchelor woke up to a torrent gushing through his backyard.
We've got emergency packs. If the same thing as this morning happens again and it's continuously raining, we'll just leave.
It's hard to believe, but this road here in Warhope is actually a bridge. It's been completely engulfed by floodwater and debris flowing along the Hastings River. It's one of dozens of roads across the region that'll be closed for some time to come. There have been more than 40 flood rescues in the past 24 hours.
Now, many of those rescues, unfortunately, are a result of people going through floodwaters.
We're just desperately seeking the public follow the advice that they do not drive through floodwaters.
The Gloucester and Patterson rivers are also subject to major flood warnings, and with more rainfall set to enter catchments, the number of alerts and evacuations are expected to increase.
That was the first night of another 3 or 4 nights we're going to get through.
A tough road ahead for much of the state.
There is more good news for borrowers, with the Reserve Bank Board delivering its second rate cut for the year. The cut brings the cash rate down 0.25 percentage point to 3.85%, the first time it's fallen below 4% in 2 years. The big banks have all reacted quickly and will pass on the cut to customers in full, and there's likely more cuts to come. The RBA Governor and the Treasurer declaring Australia is winning the fight against inflation.
With households under intense mortgage pressure, when the Reserve Bank Governor speaks,
good afternoon,
Australia listens.
At the moment, it's a confident cut in the sense that this, we think, is the right cut for now.
The big four banks quick to move, announcing they'll pass on the cut in full, most by next week. For Westpac customers, the week after. For those on a $750,000 loan, it's roughly $114 back in your pocket each month.
Amazing, that's great. Great for everybody. That way they can spend more on food.
That's good. That's good for families, it's good for business, and it's good for workers.
Even before,
and the RBA Governor hinted there could be more cuts to come.
If we continue to observe inflation coming down and staying down sustainably, that would give us opportunities to lower the interest rate further.
Economists are banking on it.
I think the Reserve Bank potentially has another 2 in it this year, but again, it depends, of course, on how things eventuate.
But if we see any more than that, it could be a sign the Reserve Bank is feeling extra worried about the economy, especially with all that uncertainty sparked by Donald Trump's trade policies, which seem to change day by day.
It's been a complete roller coaster, I'd have to say. There could possibly be a recession, yes, but that's in the very extreme circumstance.
It is the right decision made for the right reasons. We've made a heap of progress on inflation. The global environment is uncertain.
Thank you.
Welcome relief in uncertain times.
Back home in sports, this week the East New Britain provincial government proudly presented 250,000 kina to the Agmak Gurias Rugby League team. This funding is part of a 3-year partnership agreement established in 2023 between the East New Britain provincial government and the Guria franchise. During the presentation ceremony, Governor Michael Marum and Provincial Administrator Levi Mano emphasized the significance of the Gurias, stating that they are more than just a rugby team. They are a symbol of pride and excellence for the region. Since their establishment in 1991, the Gurias have achieved remarkable success, including winning 6 premierships and nurturing numerous rugby talents who have made their mark both nationally and overseas. They both highlighted the Gurias' commitment to fostering future talent, mentioning initiatives such as school competitions, the newly launched Gurias 19's youth team, and the women's team, which is set to return for its 2nd season later this year. In the English Super League, Castleford Tigers were far too good for Red Devils, defeating them 42-26, but without young PNG international Gura Rugby, with speculations his future looks bleak. The PNG hooker was a big-name arrival when he signed at the Tigers this year, but he has been conspicuous by his absence of late.
Gura Rugby was missing again on Sunday afternoon, and with Castleford pushing to revamp their squad mid-year, could Rugby be a player that heads for the exit door? Tigers are assessing all options, including potentially moving overseas players on. The longer Rugby doesn't feature, the more people will wonder if he could be leaving. Rugby is only 11 rounds into the first year of the 2-year deal. He signed with the club last November following his 2024 breakout season with the PNG Hunters and the national team PNG Kumuls at the Pacific Championships. Fellow PNG international Sylvester Namo was recently released by the club 2 months ago in April. The 24-year-old Namo made 24 appearances for the Tigers after joining before the 2024 season, and since joined QRL club Brisbane Tigers under former PNG Hunters coach Matt Church. But the Tigers' mid-season recruitment in signing players like Tom Amon and Brad Singleton looks to have given their pack some beef. Whether it's too late to achieve anything this season remains to be seen, but it's a point to be optimistic about if nothing else. Meanwhile, it was another worrying afternoon for the Red Devils. They've never ever short on effort and endeavour, but it's clear this is a side lacking experience and quality. But some of that quality and experience could be missing now as Jaden Nikorima left the field in the final quarter with what appeared to be an injury. Susan Oreape, TV1 Sports.
That ends the midday news. Do join us at 6 tonight for more news and sports.
Ghana is where the land, the sea, and the sky meet. Ghana is also where the world of the spirits meet with the world of man. The poetry of songs and the art of singing have an active part